On this video, guys, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the setup of the spray gun and all the tools we need to make it work.
I don't know if you guys heard me in this respirator. We are going to be installing a inline water separator as well as a pressure regulator for the gun, so we know the right amount of pressure to spray. So we laid out that paint almost OEM. So keep watching. Guys, so if you already picked up your central pneumatic spray gun from Harbor Freight or any other spray gun, you are one step ahead of everyone else. Then you also want to get a pressure regulator. This right here is going to be able to regulate the pressure, and you get a nice gauge here so you can see exactly what pressure you're spraying your paint, your base coat, or your primers or your clears. Now you also want to make sure you get a water separator. This is going to help keep the air nice and clean, so any water, moisture, or any oil from your compressor does not get into the paint and cause contamination. Now we also have a proper fitting here because the fitting that came with the kit is not the correct kind. As you can see, we have plumber's tape to make sure all the fittings and seals are tight, and we're going to be using a 16mm wrench here. So I'm going to explain to you guys a very simple process how we're going to assemble the spray gun in order so we can start spraying some quality work. So I have already pre-installed the gauge onto the gun. All you need is a 16mm wrench to tighten this up, and don't forget to wrap the threads with plumber's tape first and foremost. Make sure there is a great seal going on. Once we have that, we're going to mask more plumber's tape right over here, and this is where we're going to install the water separator, and that's just going to screw on right over here. And I was very generous with the amount of plumber's tape used because I do not want any leaks in the system. So this I can actually hand tight, and it's sealed as much as it can be. And the last thing you want to do is take your fitting. Now this fitting we bought earlier in Harbor Freight as well. This is a 1/4" female industrial plug. Now this little nipple right here, the design of this nipple is very important because some nipples, these little rings, are much thinner, and then it will cause leakage in your system. This is the one that was included to me with that pressure regulator and water filter. Unfortunately, this is not what we need. Look at the difference. So this is probably for a different kind of application. So let's go ahead and install the proper fitting on our water filter line, and this one I'm going to tighten it up. It is a little bit longer than I would like it to be, especially when you're going to be spraying. Your range of motion is a little bit limited, but in order to spray properly, you do need these two very important things. The pressure regulator that's built in, you won't know exactly how much pressure is spraying by adjusting this knob. So you want to keep this knob open so we can have full air pressure, and then we're going to be checking the air pressure right here. That's actually right at the gun. And obviously the water filter, there is a purge valve on the bottom that you can squeeze and purge that air out as well when the time comes. So I'm gonna actually try to hook this up to the air compressor, and we'll try to set this gun for 30 psi, which is where most people would spray. So as you can see, there is about 75-80 pounds right there at the gun. Okay, fully depress the gun. As you can see, I locked the pressure, non-existent. When you're measuring how much pressure is coming in towards the gun, you want to make sure you depress fully. So let's give it a few turns here at the air pressure regulator. depress and let's watch how much pressure there is. Not enough, clearly. Let's give it more turns. Not enough, clearly. I open it up all the way. So the problem is, currently my compressor's turned off, so we're not getting that optimal air pressure, but you would want to set it and adjust it roughly so it's 30 psi like I said before. So let's take a look now. We're right around 30 pounds every time we depress the lever. And that's exactly where we want to be. That's where we're going to get optimal results when spraying. Now keep in mind guys, I am currently learning, so I don't know all the optimal settings, but I do know that you do need an air pressure regulator to know exactly how much PSI you're spraying to make sure that the paint and the air is atomizing properly. And I do know you don't want any junk in your paint such as water or moisture or oil from the compressor. So this setup is a must. This is a basic 101 setup. I've seen a lot of people spraying without a air pressure regulator. They're just using this. This is not an effective way to gauge the pressure, and a lot of people have not been running water filters in their guns, and their paint jobs are coming out crappy because they're getting moisture inside them, and that's causing spotting and eye drops in the paint. Also, a lot of people have been running Harbor Freight's water filters, those orange ones, and I've heard a lot of bad reviews on those, especially because they're all plastic and all the components are breaking, whereas this is a metal top, metal bottom, so this should be much better. And the clear glass or clear plastic is going to allow us to see if there's really any moisture in here, and we'll be able to purge the system if need to be. All right guys, well I hope you guys learned something here alongside with me. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more videos, like the video if you appreciate any of this information, and we'll see you on the next one. And if you are looking to build a setup just like this one, I have links in the description of all the products that I am using, so if you guys want to build, mimic what I'm doing, you definitely can.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame, though it might be nice to own a jet plane. I'ma do it all for you, come along and see it's true, but the